Why be a good girl when you can be a God's girl? Welcome everybody. I am your host Makanaka JC, and I am the host of the Goods Girl podcast / community. So this is officially episode 1. I want to give a quick intro because the first introduction or the launch of the podcast community, I didn't get to finish what I was trying to say, but ultimately God did call me to be a content creator, to lead this podcast, and it's very scary, especially because of the instability in the income and the exposure. My life is going to be out there for anyone to criticize, and it's very, very scary. But I believe when God calls you to do something, it has to be scary. He will sustain you, not you. So I generally do not like public speaking. I am not someone who likes being in the public eye, but if God has called you to do something, I think for your peace's sake, and also if you want to enjoy life, you have to adhere to the purpose that God created you for, because He created you for this, so He knows you will definitely ultimately enjoy it. So when He called me to be a content creator, the only idea that I had in terms of content creation was that these girls living a lavish lifestyle, having blessers, just having money everywhere. And I knew that I never wanted to be someone who gets thrown at money. I am willing to work hard for my money, and that idea just blew my mind, because I was like, there's no ways I'm going to get a blesser, there's no ways that I'm going to be sleeping around basically to get money. And accounting was the only stream that I knew to bring me income. So it has been a very, very, I think it took me 1 year with God to actually accept this thing of being a content creator, and here I am. So our message as the God's Girl for 2025, the running theme throughout this year will be the spiritual armor, the helmet of salvation, our breastplate of righteousness, the shield of faith, sword of the word of God, the boots of peace, and the belt of truth. We're going to be digesting this. We're going to be understanding it, because as good girls, we are already overachievers, right? So we want to transition from this idea of being a good girl to being someone who belongs to God. God already has everything that we need, so because He has everything that we need, we are now trying to transition our minds from these overachievers, stop prioritizing gold over God. We want to now prioritize God over gold, because we know that God will be there for us throughout. God will be there for us in those days when we're crying ourselves to sleep. The gold will not do that. It will not wipe away our tears, but God, without a doubt, will do so. During those lonely nights, and being a great person, it takes a lot. God will be with us through the times when we're scared, through the times when we feel tired. God is going to be there for us. The money, yes, it can help us to calm down, but ultimately God is the one that brings us peace. So as I read the definition of what a good girl is, I never encountered in any of the definitions the word "she has peace." And I think that's very, very important, because as someone who is constantly pouring out to others, that's what good girls do. They sacrifice themselves for others. We ultimately go to bed tired, not because of anything else, but because we don't have this sense of peace. We don't have this sense of, I am okay. But God brings that. That's why it's so important that we now shifting from this mindset of, I do not want to be considered a good girl. It's too much work. It's too much self-sacrificing. I want to be God's girl. I want to belong to him as he chose me as his. Jesus sacrificed for all of us, and there is no reason that I should be now overcompensating when Jesus already did that. So that's what ultimately God's girl is about. This year our main theme is the spiritual armor. I'm looking forward to learning with and from you guys. Yeah, God's girl, God's girl, God's girl. Definitely tune into the next episode. We are having a release of episodes every single week. See you guys in the next one. Don't forget, you are a God's girl, no longer a good girl.